Bună ziua, dragii mei. So day 10, and it's pretty cold. There's still snow outside, and the government's now put a total lockdown. People over the age of 65 aren't allowed out. They're allowed out for 2 hours between 11 and 1 and to do shopping, and that's it. So the government's taking this very seriously, unlike the UK. So be interesting to see how things develop. Well, today I'm going to talk a little bit about politics, controversial. Not really about politics, but just to explain the system. Mayors are very powerful, and every commune has a mayor. And there's a federal level of government, just like in France, the prefect, who is the establishment figure appointed by the government. So the prefecture here in Craiova is almost next door to the town hall, the city hall. If you came to Craiova, you wouldn't think Romania is a poor country, and it's incredible the amenities that we have. An absolutely beautiful Gradina Botanica, the botanical garden, where people can go for walks, training. There's a little circuit you can run. The old centre has been pedestrianised and upgraded, and it really is, it's absolutely beautiful. And it's a place in summer where there are concerts held outdoors, lots of terraces, a really vibrant spirit in the centre of Craiova. Wonderful stadium, the Stadion Oblemenko, which is where the local football team plays its games, and the park, which is I think it's the second biggest park in Europe, the Parcul Romanescu, which is absolutely splendid, and we often go there in the summer. Lots of money was pumped into Craiova when it was trying to become the European City of Culture. It didn't win the vote, but the amenities have been improved as a direct result. So whatever you think of the ruling faction at that time, they certainly pumped money into the city. One of the most unpopular aspects of Romanian politics was special pensions, as they're called. Certain categories of people get special pensions: judges, magistrates, politicians, civil servants. These are pensions that they receive without making contributions. And I think at the end of January, the current parliament voted to abolish these. They still exist for members of the armed forces, police, which is fair enough, but they no longer exist for politicians. They've gone. So that's a great improvement to the way things operate. Currently, we have Johannes in for his second term. He's an ethnic German from Sibiu. Sibiu is in Transylvania, and its original name was Hermannstadt, so you can see the German influence. He speaks very slowly on TV in his speeches, which is unusual because Oltenians, they speak very, very quickly. So he's the direct opposite of what we would expect from an Oltenian politician who would speak very quickly. Currently, there's a minority government, the PNL, the National Party. They don't have a majority, but they are in power, supported by by two other parties. People tend to vote geographically in Romania. If you look at the map of who votes which way, the south votes PSD for the Social Democrats, which is the sort of soft left, and the north votes for the PNL, the current ruling party. The diaspora also votes for the PNL. There was some controversy about the local elections. I don't know if those will happen, because they wanted to, for the election of mayors, have two. Normally, we would have two rounds, and the first round you would decide who goes through to the second round, as in France, and then you would vote on that. The PCD, the last government, abolished this and meant that there was only one round. So the current mayor of Bucharest, she was voted in. I think she got 18% of the vote. Your political allegiance is fairly important for some jobs. If you want to be a head teacher, for example, or you want to be an educational inspector, it helps if you're a member of the right party. People tend to keep their politics hidden. Politicians aren't seen as with very much respect, just as in the UK. It's exactly the same. Finally, the politics happens in the second biggest building in the world. I think it's the second biggest after the Pentagon, the Palace of the People in Bucharest, which is an extraordinary. I visited it twice. It's an extraordinary building. They're only using a tiny fraction. I think it has about 10 floors, but it's above ground. But it's a state secret as to how many floors are below ground. And there is no air conditioning, because Ceausescu was afraid that he would be poisoned by poison gas, so he wouldn't allow any air conditioning to be installed. So there is no air conditioning, so it's very unpleasant in the summer when things get very hot here. 2 summers ago I was here and it was about 46 degrees, so it can get very hot in Romania. Okay, so well, in the Ceausescu era, a homeless child, an orphan, went into a shop and said to the proprietor, "Look, I haven't eaten all day. Is there any chance you have any bread I could have?" And the guy said to him, "I'm sorry, this is the shop where we have no cheese. Next door is the shop where they have no bread. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow."